guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Ignore my 2 missing press-on nails. I just haven't put them back on yet. They fell off yesterday. But anyways, today is another installment in my Declutter series, and we are working on my 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. And I'm going to tell you right now, this video is probably going to be more like my 9-pan collection video, because these are my favorite size palettes and some of my favorite palettes. So I don't know if I'm going to be decluttering anything from these. So yeah, I'm just going to give that bit of disclaimer if it does turn out that way, which I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out that way. But if you want to stick around and see what's in my collection, I'm going to show you each one. So yeah, there is that. Okay, so before I get into the 9 pans, I did find 2 more of the 8 pans. These are the Glamlite Coca-Cola ones, original and cherry. I'm going to keep both of these. Let me open them up so I can show you. I love this packaging. That's one thing I will give Glamlite, is that they are very innovative with their packaging. So here is the cherry cola. Very pretty. Keeping. And then we have the original Coca-Cola as well. I love that they're shaped like a Coke can, and this is like a little refrigerator they're in. And this is the original one. Keeping. So yeah, I try my best to gather all of the palettes by size, but sometimes they get mixed in, especially if in their like these bulkier packagings. I tend to forget them because they're stored in a different place. But let me set these to the side, and then we'll get into the 9 pans. Alright, so we're going to start right here with this one. So let me see if I can kind of adjust things a bit. Alright, so let's start with my Tarte ones. These are one of the first holiday collections that I bought. This is the Lil Bloom. Keeping. Like I told you guys before, I love these for quick and easy looks. Then we have Lil Toasted Tartlet. That's what that one looks like. Very warm toned. Great little easy fall palette. Keeping. Then we have the Tartlet Lil Juicy. I did just recently get the full size of the Juicy Maracuja Juicy, or Tartlet Juicy, in a Ipsy Icon. This is one of my least favorite of the bunch, but I still enjoy it, so I'm going to keep. Then we have these. These are the Sweets collection. This is the Frosted. These smell so good. I will say that the shimmers in these tend to be a bit chunky and flaky compared to most Tarte, but love it. Keeping. It smells like vanilla frosting to me. So then that one does. This one is the Double Shot. That's what this one looks like. And I believe this one smells like coffee. Kind of. This one's losing its scent a little bit, but keeping. Then we have Cravings. Looks like little chocolate candies. Very cute. Keeping. Alright, so then we have Ladybug Glow and Ice Cream Beauty box. This is the End of the Rainbow palette. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this was my very first not Ice Cream Beauty. This is my very first time ever trying Ladybug Glow, and I fell in love with their formula. Her store is kind of on and off shut down right now. She does what she can, but she makes beautiful color stories and beautiful palettes. One of my favorite brands, definitely keeping. Then we have this one. This is from Play Beauty. So if you watch Cobra Kai, then you will know that there's a girl on there that plays Tori, or a woman, I should say. And she plays Tori, and she is the face, she's at least the face of this brand. I think she might be partially the owner, but I feel like she's also owned by like a bigger conglomerate as well. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this brand. They haven't posted in a while. I haven't took the chance to kind of look it up and see. But this is her collab with Cobra Kai, and I got this in a AIA Beauty box when it was like all Play Beauty Cobra Kai stuff. So one of the neat things that about this brand, and I don't know if it's still this way, like I said, is that they were focused a lot on their packaging being like very recyclable, which I think is a really cool thing. I think it's like made out of recycled materials or something. I can't remember exactly, but I love this color story in the fall. It's very pretty. The only thing is that these do pop out, so you could do it like that. So if you want to like hold up the palette, you can't really do that because I'll kind of show you here. It will fall out pretty easily. But it comes out because, as you can see, it wants you to recycle when you're done with it. So, but yeah, you can always just take this out if you don't want to hold the whole palette with it. It is all cardboard, and I am going to keep, and I do really like the formula. So then I took it upon myself to pick up this one from Ipsy in their add-on shop from this brand as well. This is the Nudie Palette. This one looks like this. It's very much your neutral. I mean, it's called the Nudie Palette with this pop of green. But I am keeping. Like I said, I like the formula. It is another one of those that's like, I don't have to think about a look like with the Tarte palettes. Then we have Glamlite Holiday Sweets. I got this in their holiday mystery box they did last year, and this was exclusive to that mystery box. Love the artwork here. It came in like a little like lunchbox looking little container, which I did not keep. But this is the color story. It is mostly shimmers. But I mean, look at those gorgeous shimmers. So pretty. And I love the little snowflake mirror with the little gingerbread man. So pretty. Keeping. Then we have my Unearthly Night Terror palette. This came in a mystery box from Unearthly. I think majority of my Unearthly stuff came from mystery boxes. There might be one that didn't. And I did do a short with this palette along with the Gargoyle palette. And I got kind of similar looks between the two. This one is a little more... it's lighter than the Gargoyle. The Gargoyle is a darker themed palette, but you can get a decent dark look with it, with this shade to deepen up. But I love the quality in this shimmer. As you can see, it's shifts like a bluey purple to a pink. I believe it's just a duochrome. I don't think it's a multi-chrome. But it is gorgeous. I love it. So I'm keeping. Like I said, I warned you guys that I probably won't get rid of anything in these, but this is more of my collection. This is Butte Bean X Shroud. So she has since changed her name. Her name on here now is Batty Bean. This is a collab with Betty Jean. And this was her first collab. I don't know if this was her first ever collab, but I know this was her first collab with Shroud. I don't like to support this brand because of how they treated their customers, and Betty herself has spoke out about that as well. But this is what the palette looks like. I love supporting Betty Jean. She's one of my favorite creators on here. And I love the looks that she comes up with. She's very like grungy looks and colorful looks. I'm in awe of her talent, honestly. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to keep. And it's Freakin Bats palette. Not sure if I said that or not. Then she did a second palette with them. This has her new name on it, Batty Bean, and this is the Hallobean palette. You know, if you watch her, you know she's very spooky decor and loves spooky season. So this is the front, very on theme. And then this is the palette, very, very Halloween colors. Gonna keep. And now let's get into my Fantasy Cosmetica. So I got all of these palettes with the exception, I think there's only one that I didn't get in a mystery box from, not Unearthly, from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the Bard palette. I believe these are all the old artwork. That's probably why they were in the mystery box, because she redid the artwork. But this is the Bard palette. Another very fall color story. Keeping. They have some of the best shimmers and some of the best mattes as well. They're very easy to blend. But I am keeping. Then we have the Druid palette. And this is what this one looks like. Very like foresty woodland creature vibes from this one. Keeping. And from my understanding, their theming is like fantasy characters and things like that. I mean, they're called Fantasy Cosmetica, so that's kind of a given. But then we have the Fighter. And that's what this one looks like. Very kind of grungy. A pop of yellow. Keeping. And we have the Rogue palette. This is the Rogue palette. I can tell you right now, like this 6 p.m. part right here is my favorite kind of like color purples. And then you kind of have your gray green over there. Keeping. And we have the Warlock palette. This is what the Warlock palette looks like. Very pretty. I mean, look how vibrant that green is. Keeping. We have the Sorcerer. This is the Sorcerer palette. Very pretty. Keeping. And then the last one from Fantasy Cosmetica is my favorite. This is the Wizard palette. And you guys will see why. Love. Love, love, love. These are some of the best pigmented blues and sparkly blue shimmers I have in my collection. Keeping. All right, next we're going to get into my BH Cosmetics palettes. There's this one. That's what that one looks like. I went all over my county looking for these at different Ross. And I did order a couple from BH Cosmetics website before they got bought out by Makeup Revolution. But I'm keeping. And we have Do Not Disturb. The only thing that annoys me is the upside down lettering, because to read it you got to turn it this way, but then it opens this way. This is a pet peeve. There's that one. I haven't even opened yet. Keeping. And this one is Looking Like a Snack. Same with this one. I haven't opened yet. This one intimidates me a little bit with these bright pinks. I'm going to keep. Then we have Let That Go. Very gorgeous greens. Pop of orange and neutrals. Keeping. And we have Low Key Love You. Haven't opened this one yet either. Keeping. And then we have, this is my favorite one. This is Optimistic AF. And this is what that one looks like. Very sunset vibes. Keeping. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I had to turn my fan on because it's very hot in my office. And I was getting kind of dizzy from how hot it was. So I'm sorry if you hear the fan. But I really need it right now. Okay, so next we're going to get into ColourPop. But before I do, I want to show you this one. This is the Glamlite Burger Slider palette. Very cute packaging. This is like old school Glamlite, kind of what they were known for is their foodie themed items. Like, I think they got the biggest notoriety was with the pizza palette, I believe it was. And then it's like little squishy burger. I think they have a big version of this too. But this is what this one looks like. I want to try it out, see how I feel about it. I mean, it is cumbersome to try to store. That's one reason I keep the box, because it's easier to store it with the box. But yeah, I'm going to keep for now. Alright, so now let's get into my ColourPop palettes. Let's start with these. These are their cardboard packaging. We have Of Quartz. I am going to put Of Quartz in the maybe pile because I really wasn't a huge fan of how it performed when I used it. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Then we have Lavish. You guys already know. Anything that's purple is an automatic keep for me unless it's like horrible quality. But I mean, look how pretty that is. So your lavender purples. Keeping. And we have So Fly. The color story on this one is kind of different. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Then we have Apricot Me Not. I did a video on this one. Very pretty light apricot-y peach shades. I'm gonna put in the maybe pile. Then we have the All Amethyst palette. You guys can see purple keeping, and my quality of mine is good. I know some people got a very bad quality with some of these palettes, but I lucked out and got one of the good ones. So I know some people like Angelica Nikvas got some that were like super hard pressed and stuff. Then we have In the Limelight. This one kind of reminded me a bit of the Tinkerbell one that they came out with. But I am going to keep because I love the color story. Then we have Wannabe. And that's this one. This one kind of reminds me a lot of the Sunflower, or like, I think it was Big Poppy collection. Or maybe like a combo of the Sunflower and Big Poppy collection. But I'm going to keep. Then we have Rock On. Every time I hear this, it reminds me of, if you ever watch soap operas, the character Danny Romalotti from Young and the Restless, his song that he performed called Rock On. Every time I see this, it reminds me of that. There is the color story. I'm going to keep. Reminds me of the red clay in North Carolina where I used to live. But I feel like it's supposed to be more like the rock formations. Where is it? I think over Arizona area, I think. Okay, then we have Blush Crush. This is an old one. Very pretty though. I love it. Keeping. I know a lot of people loved this and the Nude Mood one for their like weddings back in the day. Then we have Cherry Crush. This is what this one looks like. Now, I'll admit this one does intimidate me quite a bit with all the red. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Alright, then we have Coast to Coral. This is another one of those similar to Apricot, the Apricot Me Not, but this is a little more pigmented. I'm going to keep. And then I got So Elemental. This is new to me. I just bought it not too long ago because I wanted kind of a grayer blue in my collection. And then you have this pressed glitter in the center, which is not my favorite. But I'm going to keep. Okay, and then we have That's Taupe. This is one of my favorite everyday palettes. I get compliments every single time I wear this palette. Keeping. And we have the Big Poppy. This is the one I was telling you reminded me of the Wannabe palette, but these are all mattes. And I told you guys I'm not a huge fan of all matte palettes. But I really, really love the tones in this one. So I'm going to keep. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a comparison look between this one and the Wannabe for the future. Maybe like a short or something. And then, who knows, maybe the Wannabe will replace this, but not promising anything. And then we have Lil Ray of Sunshine. And that is this one. Keeping. And here is the Nude Mood I was talking about when I was talking about the Lush Crush. I keep dropping all my plastic inserts every time I open it because the fan keeps blowing them that way. So I'm going to have to get my grabber and pick them up off the floor. But that's what this one looks like. Very good. Every day. Another favorite wedding palette. Then we have Makin Mauves. I love this cover. This is what this one looks like. Very pretty, keeping. Then we have High Tide. So purple is my favorite color, but my second favorite color is a good like teal turquoise shade, and teal and turquoise together are my favorite. Like think Charlotte Hornets colors, those are my favorite paired together. I mean, look at those. So pretty. Keeping. Then we have Fine Feathered. This was released at the same time as the High Tide. And you have your pinky purples. Keeping. And we have Star Wars. I have watched all the Star Wars stuff, well, except for like the newer stuff they've released in the last couple years, maybe like year or two or whatever. But this is the Darth Vader palette I am keeping. I'm not like a Star Wars stan or anything, but I did watch them all just to kind of see what the hype was. This is the Mandalorian. Got these tones. Love this shimmer here in the middle. So pretty. Keeping. I told you guys, this is more of a collection video. We have Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette. This was a popular one. And this is what it looks like. So pretty. You can see I've used this shade right here quite a bit. Keeping. And then we have CP30. I'm not sure why they haven't done an R2D2 one, but this is what that looks. This one looks like. I loved the look I created with this when I went over on a New Year's trip with my husband and my sister a couple years back. I didn't do a tutorial on it, but you can see the look in my vlog from then. Keeping. I think it's my Asian, I believe it's my Asian Lantern Festival when we went to the Sanford Zoo. So keeping all of those. Let me put those back in this container and then I'll move on to the plastic ColourPop. Alright, so as you can see, ColourPop has been one of my favorite brands for years. I don't buy as much from them as I used to. Just simply because I've gotten more into indie brands and their quality, but I still love a lot of my ColourPop palettes. So this is the Just My Luck. This is their green one. I know a lot of these they're releasing, re-releasing, but they're changing the packaging into more this. I'm guessing they're doing that so that they can sell them at Target. I will say I prefer this packaging over this packaging, but I am keeping Just My Luck. And we have Meant to Be. Oh, I have a shade trying to escape out of that one. I have to be very careful with this one. Some of my palettes are starting to let loose from their pans, so I have to be careful. But this is a gorgeous mint palette. Keeping. Then we have Orange You Glad. This is what it looks like. I will say I don't care for their old school pressed glitter. Not a huge fan of the new pressed glitters either, but they're supposed to be more eye safe compared to these. But as you can see, the old school ones are so chunky. But I'm keeping. Then we have Lilac You Alot. You guys already know. Purple, keeping. Then we have On Cloud Blue. I get compliments every time I use blue eyeshadow. Keeping. Then we have In a Trance. These are their more pastel palettes that I'm getting ready to show you. Out of the 3 pastel ones, this is my favorite. I mean, obviously it's got more purple and pinks and blues in it. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile for now. Same with this one. This is the Miss Bliss. This is another of their pastel. This one's more like pinky peach shades. I'm put in the maybe pile. Then the other one, which I just recently got a new one of in a mystery box, is the Aura and Out. And this is my least favorite color story of the bunch. I just don't gravitate towards this. I'm going to put this in a maybe pile as well. Alright, so then we have Blue Moon. This is one of my favorite blue palettes in my collection. A lot of people compare this to Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette. Keeping. Then we have Going Coconuts. This is a very popular everyday palette for ColourPop. Keeping. And this is a new one that I got in a mystery box, so I replaced my old one with the new one. And we have Strawberry Shake. Keeping. And we have Wine and Only. If you're looking for a good burgundy palette that's affordable, this is a really good one. Keeping. Same with this one. If you want some like deep dark purples, this is Orchid You Not. Love it. Keeping. Then we have Lucky Penny. This is Lucky Penny. This is another one that I gravitate towards in the fall because it's so warm toned. And it looks beautiful every time I use it, so I am keeping. Same with this one. I gravitate toward this a lot in the fall. This is Wild Child. Very pretty. Oop, doesn't want to focus. Very pretty. Keeping. Then there's this one. This was originally called Smoke Show, but they had to change the name for legal reasons. This is Blowin' Smoke. I reach for this a lot during Halloween because I tend to use this shade mixed with, this shade mixed with this shade for my contours. When I do a gray contour, it works when I do a gray contour for Halloween looks. Keeping. And we have It's My Pleasure. You guys know, purples and pinks. Keeping. And we have Honey. This is a very pretty yellow palette. Again, hate the pressed glitter in the middle. Then we have Main Squeeze. This is another one that intimidates me because it's reds, but it is kind of muted, so it doesn't intimidate me as much as like the Cherry Crush one. Keeping. And we have Baby Got Peach. And this is what that one looks like. Keeping. Let me pull these out for a second because I'm so afraid I'm going to knock these over. Because I keep barely grazing it with my finger, my arm. Okay. All right. So then we have Ooh La La. Very pretty pinks. Keeping. There's another kind of turquoise shade with some peaches mixed in. Very, very different. I get very like Mediterranean vibes from this palette. I am going to keep. And the quality of these palettes are still good, even though they're pretty old. This is Soul. This is what that one looks like. Another kind of sunset looking palette. Keeping. Then we have Cloud Spun. This is more of your lighter pinks, with the exception of this really poppy bright pink, but keeping. Okay, so let's move on to the next container, and this is the last of the ColourPop, or the last of my palettes, and then I'll have to revisit my maybe pile. So this is Blue Velvet, and I do like it quite a lot. I do feel like they can be very repetitive, because as you can see, Blue Moon on this side and Blue Velvet on this side is very similar. I'm not even sure if this is available anymore, but I know they're re-releasing this one in that packaging. But I do like both, so I am going to keep both. Then we have Plum Sizin. You guys know it's purples. Keeping. We have Super Bloom. I love these like minty shades. Again, this is another one that probably could be compared to Meant to Be. So let me show you kind of side by side. As you guys can see here, very similar vibes. Few differences here and there, but very similar. But I am going to keep both. Then we have Forever Floral. Gonna keep. We have Fresh Greens. I feel like this one is kind of like the Child palette, but not exactly. Let me see it side by side. Sometimes I just like to do this for myself and to show you guys. If you're considering one over the other, if you own one already and you don't want to waste your money on the other one if it's too similar. But ColourPop has released so much stuff, they're eventually going to, yeah, you guys see, pretty similar. Few differences here and there, but yeah, pretty similar. But yeah, like I said, ColourPop, you know, releases so much stuff, or at least they used to. They don't as much now. That, you know, they're going to dupe themselves at some point. There's only so many colors. Then we have Mauve and Up. Again, this is probably one that could be compared to Makin Mauves, so let's do that. Let me find it here. Wait, no, that's Amethyst. Where are ya? Okay. So, there we go. You guys can see. Few similar shades, but this one's not as obvious as the other ones that it's a similarity, but it is similar, just not as similar as the other ones were. Okay, and I'm keeping that one, both of them. All right. So then we have Sin Nudes. This one could probably be considered a combination of that's maybe like that's Taupe and Going Coconuts, maybe. Keeping. Then we have Vibe Check. This one I think is unique. I don't think any of the other ones look like this one. Keeping. Then we have Muse. Same with this one. This one is almost like a combination between the Mint palette, the Going Coconuts, and the Baby Got Peach. Keeping. Then we have Deja Brew. Deja Brew I thought was pretty similar to Going Coconuts. Let's see, side by side here. Since I'm doing this and I'm not decluttering very much from this video, maybe I could just use this as a show you guys and help with comparisons. Going Coconuts, where you at? Okay. Alright, so we have Going Coconuts and Deja Brew side by side. So this is what they look like. Very, very similar. Few differences, but very similar. I am keeping both of those. Okay. Then we have Blush Baby. Blush Baby is probably another one. Let's see. Let's find Blush Crush, because I feel like that one's probably going to be the closest to it. So if like some of these, because I don't think Blush Crush is even available anymore, unless they're redoing it. But let's see if Blush Baby is a good replacement. Alright, so we have Blush Baby and Blush Crush. So, kind of similar. There's a difference, one or two differences here or there, based on formula, because like one is a matte that's similar color is now like a shimmer in these. Same with the bottom right corner shade. But I am going to keep both. Okay. Then we have Gone Metal. And Gone Metal, in my opinion, I feel like is similar to Out of Quartz. So let's just grab them. Show another side by side here. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Again, yeah, pretty similar color scheme. So for that reason, I'm going to put this in the maybe pile as well, since I put the of Quartz. Just because they're so similar in tone that I know I don't like the one that much. I might not like the other one as well. Alright. Then we have Peach Out. So this one we can compare to Baby Got Peach. Let's see, because I believe they are re-releasing Baby Got Peach. I think that is one of the re-releases as well. Okay. So there we go. We have Peach Out and Baby Got Peach. Very similar. Except for this pressed glitter. I do want to look at the new ones that they're re-releasing to see if they remove the pressed glitter or if they just change the pressed glitter into their more eye safe pressed glitter they have now. I am curious about that. Okay, I am keeping both of those. And then lastly, we have Feelin' Toasty. And then I'll get into the Manifest This palettes. But this is Feelin' Toasty. I feel like this one is similar. Maybe Nude Mood? Let me see. Or that's Taupe. No, it's too warm for that's Taupe. Let's look at Nude Mood. Yeah, those are pretty similar. So there you go. If you want to see those side by side. I am keeping both. Alright, so now let's get into the Manifest This collection. Let me just put all these back in real quick. Okay. Alright, so we are going to open this up. So you guys can see, starts down here, goes all the way across to here, but I am gonna pull each one out. I feel like this was the first time they released these plastic see-through palettes. I may be wrong, there may have been a collection before this, but you have Island Vacay. Again, this one seems kind of comparable to the Nude Mood and the other one I just compared to Nude Mood. I think it was Feelin' Toasty. I am keeping. Then we have Pink Drink. Pink Drink, you know, might be similar to this, you know, Pink Drink might be similar to the Miss Bliss, maybe? No, very, very different. This is Miss Bliss. And this is, yeah, those are very different. Okay. Alright, I'm going to keep. Then we have, trying to get these out. We have Sunny Days. That's what that one looks like. That one almost kind of gives me a little bit of their very first palette vibes. Nope, different. Okay. Alright, I'm going to keep Sunny Days. And then we have New Money. This is New Money. This one kind of seems like a cross between the Tide palette and maybe the Mint and Lucky Charm, I think is the name of it, palettes. That's what it looks like. Keeping. I'm sorry if I'm rushing through this past little bit, guys, but my back is starting to hurt me pretty bad, so I'm trying to get done. So this is Sweet Vibes. This one might be like in a trance. This one might be like in a trance. Let's see. No, in a trance is way more muted of a color story. I keep hitting the phone. It's kind of similar, but this one's brighter. And I'm keeping the Sweet Vibes palette. And then we have Extra Coin. This one might be pretty close to that Taupe, maybe? Let's see. Alright, so there's that's Taupe. And there's Extra Coin. Yeah, no, they're not. I feel like it's similar to something in the ColourPop collection, but can't really think of what right now. But keeping. Okay, so that is the Manifest This collection. I'm keeping all of those. Alright, so let's revisit my maybes. Okay, let's start with Cherry Crush. I had a Wet n Wild palette that was similar to this that I already decluttered, just because I simply think this quality was better. So for that reason, I'm going to keep this one. Then we have the Apricot Me Not. I'm gonna keep. I know, guys, I'm not doing well with this one at all. Then we have So Fly. I'm gonna keep. And we have In a Trance. I'm gonna keep. Then we have Miss Bliss. I'm gonna keep. And Aura and Out. I'm gonna keep. Well, I was gonna keep, but a shadow just fell out and busted all over my floor. Great. So, not happy about that. I'm being punished, I guess, for not decluttering. This is of Quartz. I'm gonna keep. And I'm gonna keep Gunmetal. And I'm gonna show you guys what happened to the shadow that just fell out. I'm gonna show you guys what happened to the shadow that just fell out. So now I gotta figure out how to pick that up without it crumbling everywhere. Alright, guys. So I thank you for sitting through this video. I hope you just like looking at my 9-pan collection, because obviously I did horrible with this declutter. I didn't declutter anything from this collection. Well, unless you want to count this one that broke, but I'm not going to count that. So yeah, I kept all of them and decluttered 0. I know. I apologize, guys, but alright, but stay tuned. Hopefully I'll do better in the next couple declutters. Next will be like probably 10 and 12 pan video, but we shall see. I mean, it's definitely going to be 10 pan. I don't think I have enough 10 pan for just one video, so it's probably going to be at least 10 and 12. Yeah, but sorry if, you know, you didn't want to sit through this video, but I did give you warnings at the beginning that most likely would not be decluttering multiple times throughout this video. So there is that, but I hope you liked the kind of comparing some palettes at least. If you guys would take a minute and like and subscribe down below, really helps me out and I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys, bye.